Good morning, gang. Zero dark 30 on Thanksgiving Eve. Wednesday morning here. It's about 6 o'clock. Interesting news overnight. Yeah, have some more coffee there, Pinball. That came out. Rooster Cogburn sent me a email late last night about this, and then Carrie sent me the actual backup on it this morning. I was looking for it, and she found it. I guess it came out overnight. So I appreciate both you guys sending me this information. Guys, get ready to see even more shortages. And you wonder why I say this. This came out overnight. President Joe Biden will require essential non-resident travelers crossing U.S. borders, such as truck drivers, government, and emergency response officials, to be fully vaccinated beginning on January 22nd. The administration plans to announce today. Now, besides the fact that his 100-plus employee has already been deemed unconstitutional and there's a stay on it, though that's kind of interesting because the Fifth Circuit Court said no. They reviewed it and still said no. And so the potato administration said, oh, now we'll go try the Sixth Administrative Court. This isn't like when you're a kid and go, Mom, can I do something? No. Dad, can I do something? What did your mom say? Okay. But that's the mentality that the Biden administration has. They think like a 5-year-old. All right. So, listen to this. Will require essential non-resident travelers crossing the border, such as truck drivers, government, and emergency response officials. Okay? Now, this part doesn't affect stuff coming from China, stuff coming from Europe, whether it's the ports of California, ports up in Oregon, Vancouver, whatever it would be, anything coming from, say, Europe. I'm coming along the East Coast. Nothing coming from sea. This one affects Canada and Mexico. So how much does that really affect us? Well, let's look at this. In 2019, the last time I could find figures for, and B, the last year before the COVID catastrophe in the economy, U.S. goods and services trade with Canada was $718 billion. U.S. goods and services trade with Mexico, $677 billion. So between the two of them, that means we do $1.4 trillion of trade with our neighbors to the north and our neighbors to the south. Just for sake of argument here, so you can kind of get an understanding of this, we only do about $700 billion worth of trade with China. Okay? So as much as we all call Walmart, China Mart, and everything like that, we do twice as much trade with Canada and Mexico than we do with China. Now, so that brings up the big question of, well, what do we get from China, from Canada and Mexico? Where are we going to see the supply chain problems? Well, the top Canadian exports are energy products, oil, gas, etc. Okay, think of Keystone Pipeline, what that was supposed to help us with. Motor vehicles and car parts. Okay, look at General Motors. You'll see so many things made in Canada or whatever it would be. That's where the plants are. Car parts. The fourth one is consumer goods. Okay, so what's going to affect us? Oil, well, we all know that's already in the shit house. All right. Motor vehicles, the cost of a used car has gone up 25% year over year. All right. Not that we're getting used cars from Canada, but they were new once. Okay. Car parts, yeah, we all need those. I got a couple of things I got to fix on the truck. I've got, intake manifold sensor, and a what the hell is it? Tire pressure sensor. It doesn't affect me driving the truck, but I get them damn freaking lights on the dashboard that piss me off. Okay, so eventually I got to get that fixed. But consumer goods, okay, now this could be anything. Food, I know we get that. Wood products, we get a lot of wood products from Canada. All right, so all that's going to mix. Well, what do we get from Mexico? Okay, machinery and transportation equipment. Okay, steel, electrical equipment, chemicals, food, petroleum, and petroleum products. Those are the main exports of Mexico. How about this one? About 80% of Mexico's petroleum is exported to the United States. Okay? Think about that. 80% of the oil that is pumped out of the ground in Mexico is in your car. Now, obviously, that's going to have an effect. Joe's mandates here are going to have an effect on gas prices again. Ooh, but we let 50 million barrels of oils out of the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. Yip-de freaking do, Joe. That's 2.5 days worth of our use. Okay, and what was the response to that? Oh, oil went up 3% right after you did it. Okay, so in other words, Joe, you're an idiot. So 80% of our oil, or 80% of Mexico's oil comes to the United States. Oh, gee, this is going to have a problem. Because let's think about this, guys. Truly, how many people in Mexico are vaccinated? So any of those truck drivers down there bringing oil up here? Nope, sorry, not coming. But let's go into it a little further, okay? Because remember, it says, in the response, government and emergency response officials. Well, I give a rat's ass if Justin Trudeau comes down to the United States or whatever it is. The guy's as useless as Biden. They can play patty cake together and, probably couldn't figure out how to do that right. But the emergency response officials, that one's important because God knows we have emergencies in the United States. Gee, do you think there's going to be a California wildfire next year? I don't know. The way they've mismanaged the forests out there? Yup. Okay, guaranteed, because they've got it all. I mean, eventually all of California will have to have burned, and then we won't have wildfires out there. Okay. But until then, yeah, we'll have wildfires next year. Anybody know what country helps us drastically with the wildfires? Australia. All the Australian smoke jumpers coming in to help with those wildfires. Australia is huge in helping us with this stuff. Okay? Anybody noticed what's going on in Australia? Okay? Gee, I guess we won't be getting any assistance from probably the preeminent smoke jumpers in the world. Yeah, that would be that problem. But let's take a look. Hurricanes. Gee, any chance of a hurricane coming next year? Well, I don't know. What do we usually get? 15, 20, bad year, 25. Let's see. We have La Nina. We have grand solar minimum. I don't even go into weather manipulation. Okay. Chances of a hurricane hitting the United States next year? Oh, I don't know, 99%. But so let's talk about who helps us with hurricane damage. Canada, France, the UK, Germany, Mexico. Those are usually the big ones that come to our assistance when we have hurricanes, okay? Whether it's financially, whether it is personnel, whatever it would be. But I guess we won't be letting those people in either unless, of course, they can confirm that they've been taken care of. And then, hey, do we have to quarantine them for 2 weeks? Because sure, why not? Let's just wait 2 weeks to get assistance to somebody. This is what we have to look at, guys. Are you going to be able to get your car parts? Are you going to be able to get gasoline? Are you going to be able to get lumber if you need it? Are you going to be able to get food? Oh, I don't know. Joe doesn't want us to have any of that stuff, apparently. Gee, all the begging and watching our tax dollars get wings and fly out to other countries all the time. gee, on the occasion that the United States might need assistance, usually it's not financial, usually it's in personnel. Oh, Joe said we can't have that either. What the hell is going on? You know, OSHA's already had their hands slapped and said, no, you're not doing this mandate. And so now we're going to mess with truck drivers. Now we're going to mess with emergency response people. Guys, I said this a long time ago. I'm telling you what's coming next. The next one is it ain't going to be international borders. The next one is he's going to try to railroad the Constitution and say you can't go over state borders. That's what's coming next. May not affect the red states because the red states have basically given Joe the big old hi ho here on his mandates. But I don't know. You live in Jersey and you work in New York, just wait, because it's going to come time where Joe's going to go, sorry, you can't cross the border to go to New York, go to work. You heard it here? I'm warning you. Guys, stock up. Anything extra. If you need tires on the car, get tires. You need a brake job, get a brake job. Okay? You're planning on building anything. I said this last year. Buy the material that you think you're going to need now for any projects you got to do next year. Wood prices have come down. If you need to build shelves, if you're planning on building a shed, if you need to build compost bins, whatever it would be, you need that material. Go get it now and store it, because there's a chance, a good one, with this going through, or with this being announced, who knows how it winds up going through in court, there's a good chance you ain't going to be able to get it. But there's a guarantee that the price of everything is going that way. Thanks, Joe. Guys, prep on, prep hard. We'll see you later today. Pinball out.